Welcome to the Divalution, a show to empower, enlighten, and entertain divas and those that love us.
That's such an abrupt ending. I really need to fix that. Josh said that he had the original, but he hasn't sent it to me yet. So, welcome to the DIVALUTION Show, and welcome to 2018. Last week on the show, we had one of our brand new sponsors, one of our brand new show hosts, Michelle Deere, and her show premieres this Friday at noon. It's called Lavender Life, and she is an essential oils person, but she's so much more. She's all about health. She owns a couple Pilates studios, and she's a very interesting person, and nice, real nice and fun. So
yes, I've met her. She's wonderful.
No, that's Julia.
Oh.
This is her sister-in-law.
Oh.
Yes.
All in the family.
Yes. And very interesting woman. But and in so many ways like Julia, though. It's
Really?
funny. Yeah. It's and her husband is so much like Julia's husband. It's really funny. I get a big kick out of stuff like that. So today is National Static Appreciation Day.
Static, like in Static Charge, you rub your feet on the rug.
Yes, yes. And so I just got my hair colored, and before it though, you know how curly my hair is usually? It's not curly anymore.
Wow.
It went straight before Christmas. I don't know how to do it. I don't know what to do. But it was so full of static that I could feel it. Right, it was so weird. I'm having a weird hair winter.
Well, sometimes the dry in the
right
dries everything out. So yeah, you get a lot of static electricity.
Yeah, and I've been trying to boil water on the stove, and we have radiator heat. Boiler. We have a boiler. Mm-hmm. I don't know. It's really weird. Weird things going on.
This is true.
Yes. So, also, I would like to dedicate this show. Our subject today is female relationships.
Ooh, good subject.
Thank you very much. And I would like to dedicate this show to my good friend, Susan Missig, who is one of our biggest fans.
That's so nice.
And such a wonderful friend of mine, and it's also her birthday coming up on the 11th.
Oh, happy birthday.
Yes. So happy birthday, Susan, and this show is dedicated to you. And if it wouldn't have been for her, I don't know that I would be standing here right now.
Oh, that would be bad. We really like you standing here.
Well, thank you very much. Because some women that I was working with in real estate right before I met Susan really just crushed me. They just turned their backs on me and threw me on. Every cliche that you could think of, they did. And they had nothing to gain from it. I mentored them, and it really put a bad feeling for women relationships. Those women did.
I've seen some people try to put people's down, and then they make themselves feel better by seeing how low they can put someone else, and it just doesn't make any sense to me. And I don't know why these people are doing it. And I'm baffled, and I know I'm a woman. I should understand this, but
no, you shouldn't, and be happy that you don't.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that, so anyway, I met Susan, and she reinforced that there are good female friends, that you can have a good friend without any of what you just said, and without any backbiting or hidden agendas, or there's room for all of us. And there's no reason why we have to belittle each other or look down on each other or say bad things to or about each other. And that's why the Devolution was born, is because I saw women doing this from the time I was young. And my family didn't do it. My mom and her sisters didn't do it.
Your family must have been raised really good with a lot of love, and everybody was given enough love, and then they didn't have to take somebody else and push them aside because they wanted more love.
Right.
That's the way they should be treated.
Right. I remember when I was, we went to Catholic church. I went to Catholic school, and our little neighborhood was pretty tight-knit. And my best friend in grade school, one of them for a few years, was Patty, was her name. And there were boys that lived down the street from me that in the summertime, that's who I played with. There were mostly boys in my neighborhood. And then when school would start, I'd hang around with her. Well, all those years we grew up in that neighborhood. She lived maybe 6 blocks from me. And the kids that I'm talking about lived on my block's corner, on the other corner. And their moms were sisters. And I never knew that.
Wow.
And they got into an argument when their parents died over money, and they never spoke. And I never knew that they were sisters, isn't it? And so that was like my first alert that how petty people can be.
Well, sisters have a different relationship than just girlfriends. Girlfriends are totally a little bit different.
Yeah, but you would think that sisters would be
closer
beyond that. Yeah.
Well, because you haven't had anybody that you were born with. You've got sisters that you have because you were adopted.
Right.
And I think that, there you go.
Say that again.
You've got sisters that you were, adopted, so you're close to them.
Right,
yeah.
right.
But I've got 2 sisters, and I'm not nearly as close to them as I am my girlfriends. I like my girlfriends so much more. I get to pick my girlfriends.
Right, that's true. That's true. All my cousins and I are very close, though. And the aunts all owned businesses together. Oh. 2 owned a beauty shop, 2 owned the catering business, and then on Saturday nights they'd all come together and cater. And they would get mad at each other, and they'd end up laughing. And I loved that because they would fight, and you could tell they were mad, but they'd end up laughing. And they all bowled together. They went on vacation together. They were something else, those women.
That's a lot of togetherness.
Yeah. They were the inspiration for the divas.
Like I
That's
said,
where it was born.
I'm glad that you're there.
Well, thank you very much. So anyway, Susan Missig was my friend through probably the most depressing one of the most depressing times of my life. And she didn't let me wallow in it, and she would yell at me to
get over it.
Right. And I don't know, I would be a different person without her, and I so appreciate her friendship throughout the years. And so we've been really, really good friends now for 9 years. It'll be
great.
10 years next year. Yeah.
I think everybody needs one of those in their lifetime. Get over it. It's not something that you need to talk about. Just get over it.
And you know what else she did? This is funny. I hope that she's listening. She's at work right now, and she was going to try to listen, so I hope that she is. I have this idiosyncrasy that I don't like my food to touch unless it's cooked together. Yeah, except at Thanksgiving. Gravy can touch almost everything, yes. Except the vegetables. I don't know. So anyway, and the salad, if there's salad. I don't know.
You don't like that touching?
No. So it's kind of a joke between people that know me really well that I don't like that. So I was so broke that I had to pick between buying gas to get to work or food. And she knew that, she knew that. And so she would bring leftovers, and she would tell me that it was all cooked together, but I knew it wasn't. And somehow I ate that.
Even though your phobia was there.
Yep. And later on, years later, we were talking about that, and she goes, you know that food wasn't cooked together. And I said, I know. It was really funny. We still laugh about that. She's a character. And her husband still come to see us every summer.
Good to hear.
Yeah, so we have a really good time. So, Susan Missig, I love you, and thank you so much for being my inspiration on so many levels. I don't know. There's not a whole lot of women like that. And to find one right when I needed to, I consider myself very blessed.
You were.
Mm-hmm. Very blessed. So did you happen to watch was it the Emmys that were on or the Golden Globes?
I did not.
Or are they the same?
Getting ready for school, and now that I'm in school, my head is just bursting. So,
well, you know about the hashtag Me Too.
Hashtag Me Too?
Do you know about that?
No, tell me about it.
Do you know about the Harvey Weinstein? Okay.
So
then all those women started coming forward, and so on Twitter they hashtag Me Too'd it. We even had a show, and that was the first time that I've ever taken any kind of a stand on anything, because that just hit home so hard. And so many women were touched by that. And I did a little research on that, and the first woman that came forward in Hollywood was in 1937.
Wow.
And they kind of ostracized her.
Yes.
Just as people in Hollywood today, they're finding out so many young women's careers were ruined by people that blackballed them because they didn't do their bidding.
Yes.
So more power to you. So at the Emmys, I guess it was the Emmys, and I didn't watch them, but I read about it. You know, we as women, I'm going to digress for a minute. We as women, when we come together, we have done some pretty unbelievable things.
Yes.
We went to work when the men were overseas fighting a war.
Yep.
And fought the war from here. That was pretty impressive. You know, we came together and we did it. We came together and won the power to vote.
Suffragette.
We came together, and I see that same kind of thing happening now. Every woman there wore black in honor of this hashtag Me Too, and I believe, I don't know, I should have looked this up again. I believe that they changed the color of the red carpet as well, but I'm not sure about that. I think so, but I'm not sure. But anyway, those of you that know, okay?
Yeah.
So, and Oprah Winfrey got a Lifetime Achievement Award and spoke very eloquently, from my understanding, about this movement, the hashtag Me Too movement. So I'm sorry that it was this that brought us together.
Yeah, but, I mean, we've always shown up when it was supposed to be.
Right, exactly.
And maybe now is the time it's supposed to be.
And all those years, I can't talk right now. All those years that there's movies about it.
Yeah.
It's not like we didn't know it was going on.
True. And so did everybody else.
Everybody knew. And everybody that stood up, do you remember Tippi
Hedren?
Yes. She actually filed a lawsuit against, I don't know if it was against Alfred Hitchcock.
I believe it was.
But it might have been. And she got blackballed from the movie scenes. And that was in the 50s, I think, 50s or 60s. Anyway, any woman that ever tried to step forward and do something about it had their careers jeopardized.
It's time to stop playing the guys'
Right.
game.
It's not going to happen anymore. Because finally, when these women started coming forward, the guys actually got punished.
And it's time for that.
It is. It's past time for that. So it's good. And our friend Debbie's here. Hi, Debbie. We're so happy to see you.
Happy to see you too.
Thank you. So,